Hello, everyone, and welcome back channel NPA Discovery, where we look beyond famous performances and explore the complicated human lives that made them possible. Today, we are telling the story of Donna Reed, the farm girl who became one of Hollywood's most recognizable symbols of goodness, stability, and grace. To millions of viewers, she was Mary Bailey, the loyal heart of It's a Wonderful Life. Later, she became Donna Stone, the calm and capable mother at the center of the Donna Reed Show. Her screen image was so reassuring that many people assumed the woman herself must have moved through life without conflict, anger, ambition, or rebellion. The title of this video suggests that Donna Reed had a side the public never expected. I agree with that idea, but I disagree with the easy interpretation. Her hidden side was not simply dark, and it was not a scandalous personality waiting to erupt. What audiences failed to see was her steel. Beneath the polished image was a woman who understood hard work, demanded professional respect, challenged war, defended contracts, and refused to let sweetness be mistaken for weakness. That distinction matters. Popular culture often teaches us to recognize strength only when it is loud. We celebrate the person who storms into a room, raises a fist, or delivers a cutting speech. But there is another form of strength. The person who remains composed, studies the situation, chooses a line, and then refuses to move. Donna Reed's life was filled with that quieter kind of courage. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who loves classic film and television, and subscribe to the channel. Your support gives us the motivation to keep producing thoughtful stories about the people behind Hollywood's most enduring images. Now, let us go back before the Oscar, before the television set, before Bedford Falls, and before the name Donna Reed existed at all. Let us return to rural Iowa, where a young girl learned that grace without discipline is only decoration, and where the foundation of her entire life was built in work that had nothing glamorous about it. Donna Belle Mullenger was born in January 1921 near Denison, Iowa, into a world where survival depended less on charm than on usefulness. Her parents were farmers, and the household rhythm followed the seasons. There were animals to feed, eggs to gather, hay to move, and chores that could not be postponed because someone was tired or discouraged. This background is sometimes presented as a picturesque opening chapter, as though the farm were merely a beautiful contrast to Hollywood. But the farm was not scenery. It was training. It taught Donna that work begins before applause and often continues after it. It taught her to contribute to a group without needing to be the center of attention. Most importantly, it taught her that dignity does not come from being admired. It comes from being dependable. That was Donna's situation. She originally imagined teaching, not acting. When money prevented her from following the expected route, she moved to Los Angeles to stay with an aunt and entered Los Angeles City College. She studied stenography and office skills, sensible training for a young woman who needed employment. Then, in 1940, she was chosen as the college's campus queen. This time, the title reached beyond the school. Hollywood scouts noticed her, and studios offered screen tests. The farm girl had entered a city built on appearances, and appearance had opened a door. But her response revealed the discipline behind the beauty. Rather than abandon school immediately, she completed her associate degree. That choice tells us more about Donna Reed than any publicity photograph. Hollywood was promising speed, visibility, and perhaps money. Education offered no guarantees. Still, she finished what she had started. Ambition did not erase obligation. When Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer signed her for a modest weekly salary, she did not arrive as a finished star. She arrived as a young woman with rural discipline, practical education, and a willingness to learn. The studio saw a face. Donna brought a work ethic. The tension between those two realities, what Hollywood saw and who she knew herself to be, would shape the rest of her career. By the beginning of the 1950s, Donna Reed had reached a frustrating stage familiar to many successful professionals. She was respected, employed, and recognizable, yet she was not being given the work that would allow her to grow. This is one of the most difficult traps in any career. Failure can force change, but moderate success can persuade everyone around you to preserve the existing formula. A company may tell an employee, "You are too valuable where you are," when what it really means is, "Your development would inconvenience us." Hollywood had found a version of Donna Reed that worked. Donna wanted to discover what else she could do. She left MGM and sought more substantial material. The decision carried risk. Studio contracts could be restrictive, but they also offered regular employment and institutional protection. Walking away meant exchanging predictability for possibility. Then came From Here to Eternity. Director Fred Zinnemann was casting Alma, a nightclub hostess whose relationship with a career soldier is shaped by desire, disappointment, and emotional realism. Donna's established image worked against her. She did not arrive as the obvious choice. She had to audition several times to convince the filmmakers that she could move beyond sweetness. That audition process deserves attention. An established actress with years of film experience was effectively being asked to prove that the qualities audiences loved were not the limits of her humanity. She had to demonstrate that innocence on screen did not mean innocence of imagination. This kind of skepticism still appears in modern workplaces. A person known for diplomacy may be overlooked for a leadership role because colleagues assume leadership requires aggression. A comedian may struggle to be trusted with drama. A mother returning to the workforce may be treated as though caregiving erased technical skill. People confuse what they have repeatedly seen with everything that exists. Donna won the role, and the performance changed how critics saw her. Alma was not Mary Bailey in different clothes. She carried weariness, sensuality, and the guarded intelligence of a woman who had learned not to expect rescue. Donna did not ridicule the character or ask the audience to stand above her. She made Alma emotionally legible. The result was an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. The Oscar is often described as the summit of an acting career, a golden object that transforms access overnight. Sometimes it does. In Donna's case, the victory proved her range more clearly than the industry rewarded it. The roles that followed did not consistently match the complexity of the performance. This disappointment reveals an uncomfortable truth about recognition. Awards can confirm that someone was excellent yesterday without guaranteeing opportunity tomorrow. A trophy celebrates a moment. A career still depends on whether decision-makers revise their assumptions. Donna had demonstrated that she could embody moral complexity, but Hollywood continued to see the profitable outline of the wholesome woman. The Oscar expanded her reputation while failing to permanently expand the roles offered to her. Imagine spending years asking to be trusted with greater responsibility, finally succeeding at the highest level, and then returning to work to discover that the organization still thinks of you exactly as before. That experience can produce bitterness, resignation, or reinvention. Donna chose reinvention. There were additional reasons to reconsider her dependence on the film industry. Production could be physically demanding, and an injury during overseas filming reminded her that glamour often concealed risk. Movie sets of that era did not operate under the safety expectations viewers may assume today. Actors could be placed in difficult environments, travel far from home, and face pressure to continue because delays were expensive. At the same time, Donna was raising a family. She and Tony Owen were responsible for 4 children, and the structure of film production was not naturally designed around parental stability. Location shoots, irregular schedules, and the uncertainty between projects placed artistic ambition in tension with family life. The old interpretation would say that Donna chose home over career, as though the two existed on opposite sides of a moral scale. The more accurate interpretation is that she searched for a model in which work and family could coexist without requiring her to surrender control to studios. This led to one of the most important decisions of her professional life. Donna and Tony formed Todon Productions. The name combined elements of their own names, but the company's meaning went beyond branding. It gave them leverage. Rather than waiting for a studio to imagine Donna differently, they could develop material themselves. That move placed Donna among performers who understood that creative freedom often begins with ownership. She did not merely want a better part. She wanted a better system for obtaining parts. There is a modern lesson here. When a platform, company, or gatekeeper repeatedly misunderstands your value, one response is to keep requesting permission. Another is to build a structure in which your judgment has greater weight. Not everyone can start a production company, of course. But people can develop independent portfolios, create businesses, organize communities, or learn the skills that reduce dependence on a single institution. Donna's next great success emerged from that impulse. It would return her to the domestic world that audiences associated with her, but on significantly different terms. Instead of standing beside the central character, she would become the center. Instead of being hired only as an actress, she would possess creative and business influence. In 1958, the Donna Reed Show premiered. On the surface, it appeared to confirm every conventional idea about her. She was again a wife and mother in a comfortable American home. Yet beneath that surface, the project represented an assertion of authority. Donna Reed had taken the image Hollywood used to limit her and turned it into a vehicle she helped control. That is not surrender. It is strategy. By the 1980s, Dallas was one of the most powerful programs on American television. Its world of wealth, betrayal, family conflict, and Texas ambition was far removed from the gentle domestic setting of the Donna Reed Show. When Barbara Bel Geddes, the actress who had created the role of Miss Ellie Ewing, stepped away because of health problems, producers needed someone capable of joining an established ensemble without making the family matriarch feel temporary. Donna Reed accepted the role in 1984. The casting made symbolic sense. Miss Ellie was the emotional foundation of the Ewing family, a woman whose authority came from endurance rather than spectacle. Donna understood how to play that kind of strength. She also brought decades of audience trust. Replacing a beloved performer is one of acting's most difficult assignments. The newcomer is judged not only on the work but against the memory of someone else. If she imitates the original too closely, she seems artificial. If she creates a different interpretation, viewers may accuse her of misunderstanding the character. Donna approached the role professionally and completed a season. She also signed a multi-year agreement that gave her reason to believe Miss Ellie would become an important part of her return to television. Then Barbara Bel Geddes recovered and decided to come back. From the producer's perspective, restoring the original actress promised continuity and audience enthusiasm. From Donna's perspective, she had been recruited, contracted, and then discarded once the emergency ended. Both realities can be understood, but only one side controlled the role. The production announced Donna's departure and Bel Geddes' return. For many performers, that would have been the end. The studio had made its choice. A gracious public statement might be issued, money negotiated quietly, and the replaced actor expected to disappear without making the audience uncomfortable. Donna refused. She filed a lawsuit alleging breach of contract and sought to stop production from proceeding without her. Newspapers emphasized the surprising spectacle. The famously gentle Donna Reed was angry, confrontational, and prepared to fight a major production company. This was often described as her dark side. But what exactly was dark about it? She believed an agreement had been broken. She believed the role had value beyond the unpaid salary. She believed the producers had treated her as a temporary solution while giving her a longer commitment. Going to court was not evidence that her kindness had been false. It was evidence that kindness had boundaries. There is a lesson here that extends far beyond Hollywood. Many people are encouraged to be professional when an institution violates a promise. In practice, professional often means silent. An employee may be told that a promotion is guaranteed after completing a difficult project, only to watch the position go to someone else. A freelancer may deliver work under a written agreement and then be pressured to accept less payment. A tenant may be promised repairs that never arrive. A patient may be assured of coverage that is later denied. The injured person is then advised not to create conflict. Preserve relationships. Avoid appearing difficult. Be grateful for the opportunity. Donna Reed had spent a lifetime being agreeable enough for America to invite her into its living rooms. At Dallas, she decided that agreeableness would not be used against her. A judge rejected her attempt to halt production. That outcome did not mean her contractual claim lacked substance. The show continued, and she pursued the case. The dispute eventually ended with a settlement worth more than $1 million, representing the compensation remaining under the agreement. But by accounts from the period, money was not the only issue. Donna wanted acknowledgement that the role and promise mattered. She understood that exposure on a major program could not be reduced to weekly salary. Work creates momentum, visibility, and future opportunities. Removing her affected the direction of her career. This is why contract disputes are often emotionally charged even when financial compensation is available. A contract is not merely a price. It is a statement that two sides intend to honor a future. When one side breaks that intention, the other may experience not only financial loss but humiliation. Donna's fight also forces us to reconsider the language used around assertive women. A man defending a contract may be described as tough, strategic, or business-minded. A woman doing the same may be called bitter, difficult, or unexpectedly aggressive. Donna's wholesome reputation made the contrast especially dramatic, but the underlying bias was familiar. Her response did not destroy the truth of her earlier image. It completed it. The woman who played Mary Bailey had always understood loyalty. The woman who played Donna Stone had always understood responsibility. The activist had already demonstrated that she could oppose powerful institutions. The Dallas lawsuit brought those qualities into a commercial conflict. She did not win the role back, but she forced the production company to honor the economic consequences of its decision. Sometimes empowerment does not mean restoring what was taken. It means refusing to let the person who took it define the terms of the loss. The settlement closed the public dispute in 1985. It also became the final major chapter of Donna's acting career. Almost immediately, a far more serious battle began, one that no contract, reputation, or courtroom could resolve. At the beginning of this story, we asked whether Donna Reed possessed a side the public never expected. She did. But it was not the hidden darkness promised by easy scandal. It was the power that audiences failed to recognize because it arrived in a gentle voice. Donna Reed's career exposes a habit that reaches far beyond Hollywood. We often confuse kindness with compliance. We see a woman caring for others and assume she has no ambition of her own. We see someone remain calm and assume she will never resist. We see a person associated with family and decide that her thoughts on business, politics, art, or justice must be secondary. Then, when that person draws a boundary, we call it surprising. Donna's life asks us to examine why. Why should a compassionate woman be expected to accept a broken contract? Why should a mother who values family remain silent when a war threatens other mothers' children? Why should an actress celebrated for goodness be denied the chance to portray moral complexity? Why should a performer be grateful for a name, an image, or a role if the same gift is later used to limit her? The answers reveal more about society than about Donna Reed. She understood something powerful: character is not the absence of anger. Character is knowing what anger should serve. Her anger at Dallas was not random destruction. It was attached to a promise. Her opposition to Vietnam was not fashionable rebellion. It was attached to life. Her dissatisfaction with shallow roles was not vanity. It was attached to artistic growth. Even her most comforting performances contain this strength when we look carefully. Mary Bailey does not simply wait for George to recover. She mobilizes a community. Donna Stone does not merely decorate a household. She interprets people, makes decisions, and holds the center. Donna Reed's screen image was softer than many modern portrayals of power, but soft is not the same as weak. A river can be soft against the hand and still reshape stone. That may be the most inspiring truth in her story. You do not have to become cruel in order to become strong. You do not have to lose tenderness to establish boundaries. You do not have to shout every conviction for it to be real. Some people watching this may recognize Donna's struggle in their own lives. Perhaps you have been the reliable person in a family, the one everyone calls when something goes wrong. Because you are capable, they assume you need nothing. Because you forgive, they assume there is no limit. Because you avoid unnecessary conflict, they assume you will accept necessary injustice. Perhaps you have built a career around one quality and now feel trapped by it. You were the helper, so no one sees the leader. You were the beginner, so no one recognizes the expert. You were the cheerful one, so no one gives you room to grieve. You were the dutiful child, so your family still treats your independent decisions as rebellion. Donna Reed's life offers an answer: the role that introduced you does not have the right to imprison you. You are allowed to become larger than the first version of you that other people understood. You are allowed to value family and still possess ambition. You are allowed to change your political mind when conscience demands it. You are allowed to step away from visibility. You are allowed to return. You are allowed to defend an agreement, even when people preferred you agreeable. And you are allowed to remain kind while doing all of it. That final point is essential. Empowerment is sometimes presented as a transformation from softness into hardness. But Donna's example suggests another path. The goal is not to replace the heart with armor. The goal is to protect the heart with judgment. Her life began on a farm where work mattered more than appearance. Hollywood then turned her appearance into a national symbol. For a time, the symbol threatened to overshadow the worker, the artist, the producer, the activist, and the determined woman beneath it. But the deeper record survived. It survived in the Oscar that proved she could break type. It survived in the company she helped build when studios failed to offer control. It survived in the television series that placed a mother's intelligence at the center. It survived in anti-war advocacy that challenged the expectations of her audience and political peers. It survived in a courtroom, where America's favorite housewife refused to be treated as disposable. And it survives in the young artists encouraged by a foundation bearing the name she once disliked. There is something beautiful in that last irony. Hollywood gave Donna Belle Mullenger a new name because executives believed it would sell. She carried that name into history, but over time she filled it with meanings they could not have designed. Donna Reed came to mean warmth, certainly, but it also came to mean discipline. Range. Ownership. Conscience. Boundaries. Courage. When It's a Wonderful Life returns each year, many viewers focus on George Bailey's realization that one life touches countless others. Donna's own story proves the same principle. A teacher's encouragement touched a student. An actress's performance touched families. A mother's fear became public advocacy. A legal fight became an example of professional self-respect. A family's loss became a foundation for future performers. No life is only the image other people remember. No quiet person is empty of fire. And no one should be required to choose between a tender heart and a strong spine. So when you see Donna Reed smiling from a black and white screen, do not see only America's perfect wife or favorite mother. See the Iowa girl who kept moving when the obvious path closed. See the actress who demanded more than one kind of role. See the citizen who questioned her own political side. See the woman who fought when a promise was broken. Most of all, see a reminder for your own life. You may not control the name the world gives you. You may not control the first role you are offered. You may not control whether your best work is recognized immediately. But you can decide what values will fill your name. You can decide when gratitude has become a cage. You can decide that kindness will be a choice rather than a command imposed by others. Donna Reed did not need to destroy her wholesome image to reveal her strength. She simply lived long enough, and courageously enough, for us to understand that the strength had always been there. That is the woman behind the perfect picture. And that is why her wonderful life still speaks to us today. Thank you for watching Echoes Behind the Screen. If Donna Reed's story moved you, share this video with someone who has ever been underestimated because they were kind. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments, which part of Donna Reed's life changed the way you see her. Until next time, remember this: let the world admire your gentleness, but never let it mistake your gentleness for permission to diminish you.